What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to a new type of squad builder. This is going to be an interesting one. This is kind of like a pilot for squad builders that we can go into much more down the line, and I'm using my own team, my own way for the first episode, so I can explain to you what it's about and where we're going with it, and how we can develop the highest rated team in FIFA essentially, because this is called the highest rated team. And with this team that I'm about to show you, it is the highest rated version of this player in the position that I'm playing them in. I really hope this makes sense and doesn't go over people's heads. Bottom line, like some people don't believe in chem styles, but what I want to do is basically take the player that I've got in my team and the position that they're in, go to Footbin and find the chem style that maximizes their rating as the player. So for example, we've got Antonio Valencia at right back, and I've got a shadow chem style on him. And the reason why I've got a shadow chem style on him isn't because I just want that pace. No, it's actually because the shadow chem style is the chem style that makes him the highest rated possible version of himself in game based on stats. If you guys don't know, Foothead, Footwiz, Footbin, they have this feature where when you apply the chem style, it tells you that the in-game rating of them based on those stats. And he goes up to an 89.4 rated right back with the shadow on. So what I've done is I've changed all the chem styles of my team. Some of them are counterintuitive to what we usually have. And I'm going to play with this team. Today I'm going to play just one game in Daily Knockout Tournament because this is, like I say, this is a pilot episode. We're talking about it, we're explaining it, and we're figuring it out. But after that, I want you guys to send me in your teams with your chem styles that you have. I'm then going to go and build your team, change the chem styles to what like Futbin says would actually make them the best version of themselves, and play some divisions games with them or some foot champs games with them, maybe 4 or 5 games at a time, and see if I get like incredible results out of just getting the maximum player rating per position. Now, the reason why this will be a fun experiment, in my opinion, is because what the game suggests is their actual in-game rating isn't necessarily what's best for them. And off the back of that, we'll have a look at, for example, my centre-back, Delict. He goes up to a 93.2 rated centre-back with Sentinel. And you might be thinking, that's ludicrous that you're going to use Sentinel because you need the pace from Shadow. So there might be some instances where you look at a player and you think, well, that's just terrible. With a Shadow chem style, for what it's worth, he goes to a 92.3, but with a Sentinel, he goes to a 93.2. So he's a better centre-back officially with a Sentinel. It will be interesting to see if the boost in physical, instead of the boost in pace, pays a big impact to how he plays in game. So I'm excited to see that. Now for Pereira, I've got Powerhouse on him because I actually use him as a CDM. So with a Powerhouse, Pereira goes up to a 91.6 rated CDM. My left back is Tellez. We've got Shadow on him. He goes up to a 94.1 rated left back with Shadow. Then we've got Frank Rijkaard, who I actually swapped to centre-back. I swapped Pereira and Frank Rijkaard around in game, and he goes to a 95.6 rated centre-back with Anchor, and that is the best chem style for him at centre-back. We then move on to Rui Costa. I play him at centre-mid, and he's with an artist, he goes to a 91.8 centre-mid. I play Ander Herrera at centre-mid, and with an artist, he goes to a 93.5 rated centre-mid. I've then got Kaka with a Hunter chem style because I actually play Kaka at striker, and he goes to a 92.3 rated striker. I've got Wayne Rooney with artist. I play him at cam, and he goes to a 93.1 rated cam. And then I've got Henrik Larsson at striker, and he goes to a 90.4 rated striker with Maestro, and only a 90.3 rated striker with Hunter. So I'm going to be playing, as you can see, with these weird chem styles. Now, one thing that I really quickly did is that the positions that I play these guys in isn't necessarily their actual best position. So, for example, with Wayne Rooney, with a artist, Wayne Rooney is a 93.1 rated cam, and Kaka is a 92.3 rated striker. But Rooney with a sniper goes to a 92.2 rated striker. So that, you know, it's not necessarily his best position. And so, for example, with Kaka, if I actually put a Maestro on Kaka, he goes up to a 96.3 rated cam. So you can get like 92.3 rated striker with Hunter, or because that's the position I'm playing him in, or a 96.3 rated cam with a Maestro if you played him there. So because I'm playing Rooney at cam and Kaka at striker, I've not done that. But what I want to kind of develop is, first of all, I want to develop an understanding as to whether or not using chem styles, like off-key chem styles, to boost the players to their maximum in-game rating actually makes a difference in the way the game plays and having a feel for how they play. But I also want to find like the best complete team to get the most high-rated players out of playing them in their chem style. So, you know, I want to get like 95 and 96 rated players as a minimum in every position. In this team, we've got 93.2 Delict, 94.1 Tellez, 95.6 Rijkaard, a 93.5 Ander Herrera, 93.1 Rooney. So, you know, they're in the 90s, and in terms of 80s, Valencia is actually officially the worst player on the team at 89.4, and of course we don't know the difference for goalkeepers. So I'm going to go and get into a game, guys. We're going to go into the DKT, just as I say, just because this is like a pilot episode for me, but I know that there are certain players, like for example, with Ander Herrera, oh wait, what do you need? What's this one? What's the minimum rating here? Is there a minimum rating? Maximum of 3 players from the same league in the starting 11 and subs. Well, I've got 3 icons, 3 English. Okay, so it's the subs that's a problem for me here. Okay, so let's get rid of him for him. Russian Emirates. Oh, there you go. Perfect. That was enough. Just one change was enough. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. What have we got then? That's two. Oh, another English 1 player. Let's get Thiago in from Bundesliga. Is that going to be enough? Yes, there we go. Perfect. So that's enough for the DKT, which is fantastic anyway. But yeah, what I really want to do, develop is just an understanding for chem styles. And where this came from was me last night on stream talking to people about chem styles and how certain players just don't believe chem styles are valuable. Some people don't believe chem styles do anything. They don't believe they boost anything. You know, they like, you know, it's the whole feel thing, right? Some people put like a shadow on a defender with relatively low pace and they say it doesn't feel like he's as fast as he should be. And then they put like like this guy's got a hunter on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's already super fast. Like that's probably, in fact, let's taking his Aubameyang as an example. 88 Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with a hunter goes to an 89.5 rated striker. However, if you put, let me just find his best real quick. It looks like it might be sniper. Let's have a look at. Yeah, so sniper is the best chem style for Aubameyang, and it takes him to a 90.1 rated striker. So what I want to do is basically like just find the most overpowered players, the best players in their positions, and then give them the correct chem styles that gives them the highest rating, and see if the meta that we're told and led to believe is actually the meta that is the truth. And if it's not, then it opens up a world of possibilities, specifically through Team of the Season, you know, because in Team of the Season we use these exceptionally boosted cards, and we can give them the right chem style to hopefully develop like essentially like a full 99 rated team. Based on in-game stats. Of course, then you have to take into consideration things that we're not looking at here today, and that's skill moves, weak foot, stamina, composure, height, work rates, and traits, right? Those things they're also super important to take into consideration. But the bottom line is I'm looking to find, like the reason why I've called it the highest rated team in FIFA is because I'm taking teams and developing them into their highest rated versions of themselves. I hope there's not a misconception that we're getting the highest rated team in FIFA here. So let me go to my formation. So I switched to 4-1-2-1-2, and as promised, the players that I've got are going to be the highest rated in their actual positions that they're playing in. And I also wonder off that is that, you know, sometimes when you look at player ratings here, these aren't all. Oh wait, no, not player ratings. It's the other part, isn't it? Performance. These stats here aren't always what the stats of the card is. See that Tellez, it says 88 overall, when he's not an 88 overall. But I wonder if that says 88 overall because of the chem style that I've got on him. Like Delict is an 85 when he's actually an 84. Like things like that, I wonder if it plays an impact on that sort of stuff. So what I'm looking for, and again, like I try not to be misleading with this, but I wanted obviously this to be a video that people clicked on that they're interested in and they want to engage with. And I couldn't think of a better title to really represent what I'm trying to do here than make the highest rated team possible. You know, that because that is what I'm trying to do. I'm taking teams, you know how like in the best team in FIFA, I take your guys' teams and I play with them and I let you know whether or not I think that they're worth taking into foot champs or how good they are and so on and so forth. Well, in this occasion, it's going to be very similar in that degree. You know, I'm going to be taking your guys' teams, and giving them the chem styles. Oh, that's a good ball. Giving them the chem styles that most represents their highest rating in game, or at least for the position that you've linked me with. So if you say to me that you've got 90 Frank Rijkaard and you play him as a CDM, I'll give him the chem style that best suits his rating as a CDM, not as a centre back. And it would also be interesting to just find not only the highest rated player per position, and you're probably going to be looking at Prime Icons and Team of the Year cards, right? And that's why I'm excited to do this also through Team of the Season. But not only am I going to be looking interested to find the highest rated team per position, and I'm sure there are loads of, I know Cristiano Ronaldo gets loads of 99s. Like if you just leave him on basic, he's like 99 left wing, 99 forward, 99 striker, etc. So there are 99s in the game. But what I want to find is the most complete team. So I want to get, and probably without taking into consideration Prime Icons, I just want to find the most highest rated base gold team, essentially. That, or not base gold team, but not even cheap team, but just complete team. I just want to find a team that's not like 20 million coins or 10 million coins, you know, probably like a budget of, this guy's not a bad player for what it's worth. Not, you know, oh, that's a good ball again. That's twice he's going to be through on goal here. Let's get that out. That's a great tackle from Valencia. And hey, there's that high-rated Valencia coming up trumps. Yeah, not necessarily cheap teams, but maybe like a budget. So we'll say, so for a 500,000 coin team, here's like the highest in-game ratings you can get for everyone in that team. And it might be like 93s and 94s, or there might be some players that are up there with 96s and 97s. And especially, again, through Team of the Season, who knows where it will take us. You know, it might be a really awesome set of players. And you might just find, and this is something that I'm interested in doing, you might just find some players that you just didn't expect that could play good, that end up being insane with a different chem style that you're just not used to giving them. So, you know, you might take this Wayne Rooney, for example. I've got an artist chem style on this Wayne Rooney, which isn't something someone would give him, because someone would give him something that would boost his pace, because people love pace in this game, right? People just, if you don't have hunters and shadows in this game, you're considered to be at a disadvantage. And I kind of just want to break that mentality. I want to show people that, hey, if you have a chem style that boosts the player right for the position that he's in, you can actually perform to a high degree with that team without just focusing super hard on pace. And I think this is actually a really good example game for that, because this guy has Aubameyang up front with a Hunter chem style, and that in itself is just, it goes against what you should have on Aubameyang. At the very worst, you should have a Hawk on him, right? If you want that 99 pace, put a Hawk on him. So I don't have the fastest defenders in the game. In fact, I don't have a shadow on either of my centre-backs. I have a Sentinel on De Ligt, so that drops him down into the 70s for pace. And I have an anchor on Rijkaard, and I don't know what that, yeah, that drops him into, I think also maybe the low 80s for pace for Frank Rijkaard. And it was going to be super interesting to see if they're able to handle the pace of Aubameyang. And so far, it seems like they have done. You know, that guy's Aubameyang got in behind once. Generally speaking, I've been the aggressor in terms of possession so far in this game, almost at half-time. This guy's actually had a couple of clear-cut opportunities that I haven't been able to deal with because he has got in behind with pace. But overall, I mean, this guy's a good player as well. I'm not, you know, this is only the DKT, but I'm not going to sit here and suggest that this guy is a terrible player. He's actually a decent player. He's got low chem on his team, which hopefully will pay dividends for me like later on. But my team it really isn't a pacey team. You know, I've got Hunter on Larson. No, actually, I have Maestro on Larson, don't I? Yeah, I have Maestro on Larson. The only players that have real good pace boosts are the fullbacks. Tellez and Valencia are the only guys that have any kind of boost to pace. Well, maybe Rijkaard with anchor as well, but generally speaking, this team is geared towards technical abilities. And we'll see, as we score eventually with Larson, we'll see if technical abilities pay more dividends and pay more dividend than pace. And that's what I want to find out. I want to find out whether or not just having the highest rated version of the player of themselves is better than having the fastest version of the player of themselves. And the only way to do that is to kind of like pick players and teams that I would never use normally, and then choose chem styles that I would never use normally, and play games with them in the most competitive setting possible. So if I record the videos during the week, the most competitive setting possible will be obviously divisions, And if I record the videos during the weekend, the most competitive setting possible will obviously be FUT Champs. And I'll stand by the fact that, hey, I mean, look at that Delict there catching up. Like, I stand by the fact that I'll give it my best shot and report back with fair, unbiased findings as to how the team's performed. And you can see right now that even though my team isn't based on pace, I have dominated this game. 6 shots, 4 on target, only the 1 goal, sadly, because my shot choices haven't been insane. Incredible possession and based in good areas. Much better passing, and you know, this guy's team is based on pace. This guy has Aubameyang up front. He has Batshuayi up front with the Hunter. He's got Pogba, Isco, and Denis Suarez, not necessarily based on pace, but then he's got Valencia, Manolas, and Eric Bailly, who are indeed heavily based on pace. And I'm still able to create chances and stuff. And I hope that this really helps break the stigma of counter-attack sweaty play is the only way to win, or having 99 pace Lozanos and Alessandrinis is the only way to generate chances. Like, what I want to do is like show people that, hey, you can play FIFA and football with your favourite players in this game, and you can make them usable by generating the correct chem style for said player, and you can actually have fun in this game using alternative players instead of using the typical meta, this is what I have to use player. Oh, that's a hell of a tackle. I tried to do the fake shot stop there to try and stop that from, like, basically I didn't want him to get that tackle in, I wanted him to foul me, but he ended up putting in a perfect tackle anyway. But that's what I'm going for. And so far with this team, I can say, like, even though I don't have hunters and whatnot on my players anymore, I definitely feel like I'm still performing to a really high degree here. I should have turned outside there, that was a bad mistake. Now, obviously I'm always at risk for counter-attacks, especially with this guy as 2 attackers. But even if I had pacey players myself, Eric Bailly's and Manolas's of my own, if this guy gets in behind with Aubameyang, there's no catching him. And so I wonder if boosting the stats are important and pertinent to the position. So, for example, Danilo Pereira has Powerhouse on him, and that boosts, for example, his reactions. And I wonder if boosting his reactions is important because he reacts quicker to the plays in the game, instead of just being able to rely on his pace to drag him back up. You know, ooh, this guy's going to get that. That's a foul, ref. So that's kind of where I was going with it and what I was looking for with this. That looks like it could be a goal, boys, for this guy on the counter-attack. And it will be these instances with counter-attacks. No, look at Rijkaard getting back in there like a G. It will be instances of counter-attacks where you are going to suffer, but it is of my opinion that you're going to suffer with counter-attacks anyway. Right, this is where we want Rooney to bang one. Ooh, it went wide. So I had Deadeye on Rooney before because of long shots, and I think maybe he would have done, like, obviously Artist gives him dribbling and Artist gives him passing. And so taking long shots with Rooney isn't necessarily the smartest thing to do. But at the same time, he has got quite good long shots already. So it wouldn't surprise me if we could turn in a few long shots. So we're here with Kaka. And Kaka shoots and Kaka scores. And again, you don't need pace. Like, what do I have on Kaka? I actually have a Hunter on Kaka, don't I? That's hilarious because I don't usually use a Hunter on Kaka. But with a Hunter, he goes up to 99 acceleration and 93 sprint speed, with 99 positioning, 98 finishing, 99 shot power, and 99 long shots. Sorry, 96 long shots with 99 volleys and 99 penalties. He is actually an insane card. And the reason, like, some people probably use him at cam and maybe some people use him at centre mid. The reason why I use Kaka at striker is literally because of his stamina. He's such a good commodity in this game. You know, he's a really, really good player. He's got all, like, amazing stats in all the correct areas. But if you use him in midfield, the problem that you're going to get is he's going to lose stamina real quick because he will be a midfielder. He'll be tracking back through the midfield defensively and offensively. You'll be sprinting more with him to try and get into good positions and with the balls. And with a striker, he'll just stand up front and he won't really burn all that much energy. And you know, all you'll get from him is that. And you'll see here, hopefully, if we can get our ball in. Oh, that's Rooney again. Let's have a look at my Kaka now. He's still got like 45% stamina, so it's, you know, he's not in a bad spot for stamina. That could be trouble. And there's our Antonio Valencia. Go on. That's a good save. That pressure put him off, and that's going to go over for a corner. Really, really good work then. You know, it's hard to judge in a daily knockout tournament, which is why in this first episode I used my team so I could explain to you guys what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and where we're going. Because in the DKT, obviously, I'm not coming up against the most insane players, right? Although, saying that, this guy is actually a very good player. That's a terrible touch. You know, I wanted to kind of experience the team in a lesser setting, just so I could explain to you guys what I aim to do, and that is a really bad miss. That should be a goal. How he's actually put that wide, you know, he's got what, 99 composure, perfect finishing and all sorts. Oh, you jammy mofo. And he's missed that, and oh man, that's 2 times I should have had the ball there. If this guy scores off of this, that'd be super unlucky. That'd be 2 times I should have probably intercepted the ball. Look at Rijkaard there. So you don't need pace, man. You don't need pace. This guy's got Batshuayi up front with the Hunter, which makes him very fast. And then Aubameyang up front with a Hunter, which makes him the fastest you can possibly be, with 99 pace, 99 sprint speed, and 99 acceleration. And other than 1 or 2 times that he got in behind very early on in the game, I haven't suffered. And it's not like I'm sitting there on defence or anything. I'm on balance, right? So I haven't suffered from the pace of Aubameyang, just because my defenders are good enough with low pace to be able to like deal with that, basically. Let's see if I can get Kaka in behind here as well. Yes, he has gone in behind. Is he going to win the ball? He's running for it. The goalkeeper too is running for it. It's a race to the... Oh, his goalkeeper ended up getting it. And now my Kaka is dead. Because I made that sprint there, I've just burnt a lot of his energy. But yeah, like this isn't like an exact science either, right? Because I know like the level of opponent that you play is also super important in things like this. You know, if you're playing against like weaker opponents all the time, like trash bag players, you can have a silver team and you still beat them. You could have a team with low pace and you still beat them. You could have a team with low stats and you still beat them. Which is why I want to take your guys' teams and play them in competitive settings to really get a feel for if this is actually workable and usable, or whether it is just more of a placebo thing, or more of a irrelevant factor than what me personally considers, and what other people that are like-minded as me consider. So this I hope like that, you know, you kind of can understand that what this is me trying to open my mind to this game and not get lost in the hunters and shadows and pace is OP and pace is everything. But I want to build teams that really focus on in-game ability rather than how fast they are in-game, and I feel like this is a really good way to do that. Oof, that's a great tackle. So we find ourselves 3-0 up. We've scored some good goals so far. Larson with 1, Kaka with 1, and Rooney with 1. So all of our attacking-minded players have got in on the action. And you know, Rui Costa's not even a great player to pick for a centre midfielder either. He has really bad defensive abilities. He doesn't have like the most insane work rates. Like, he only came in at a... I'm not even watching here. That's good defending. He only came in at a 91.8 rated centre mid. And there are centre mids out there that... that's unlucky. That I could have got up there at 95 rated centre mids. You know, I could have used Rijkaard and put him at centre mid instead and got him like right up there. But I decided to use Rui Costa just because that's where I use him as a centre mid. And I personally usually have Deadeye on him. It's good defending, because I want to boost that shooting, because he has really low finishing stats. So a lot of the times, like, you know, one of my biggest complaints with Rui Costa is that the fact that he just misses chances that he should be scoring, right? So I try and take that into consideration. And in the box here, although he's actually scored that, in the box it's usually where he's worse off. So he has 75 base finishing, and finishing, if you don't know, is what's important inside the box. Long shots, what's important outside the box. So if you're taking shots from inside the box on that 75 base finishing, which is what he has with this current chem style, you're liable to miss a lot more than you are to score, right? Just because you're used to playing with players with high finishing. So the Deadeye chem style boosts that finishing up to 90, which is why I used it a lot. However, I don't mind using Artist because it boosts that dribbling up, it boosts that passing up, that curve, and so on and so forth, and just it makes for an all-round good time. If you're just going to back off, I'll just walk up. But I don't think this guy's playing anyway. But 4-0, guys, in the end. Goals coming from all over the pitch. Probably assists coming from all over the pitch as well, actually. I don't actually know. It'll be interesting to have a look to see where they come from. And that is going to be full-time, so we'll have a look at where the assists come from. And I just want to check the player rating at the end of the game as well. And we'll have a look at how the players perform too. I don't want this video to drag on too long, but look at how well this whole team performed. 9.5 from Larson and Rooney, 9.2 from Costa, and 9.4 from Danilo Pereira, and I don't even remember using him. A 9.1 from Kaka, only an 8.4 from Herrera. Good games from NepentheZ, Rijkaard as well. The worst performers were De Ligt and Valencia, but so in terms of goals, we've got the midfield all getting involved. In terms of assists, again, the midfield all getting involved. Larson, Rooney, Pereira, and NepentheZ. Shots, decent again from everybody. Passes completed, really good from all parties involved. Rooney with 28 out of 32, Pereira with 13 out of 15. The defence getting involved in a lot of passes. Herrera getting involved in some good passes. Kaka and Larson the same. Dribbles completed as well, just coming from all over the shop. Kaka with the least amount of completed dribbles. That's interesting. Henrik Larsson with the most. Tellez with the only one cross. Tackles 1. Again, the midfield getting involved in tackles. And this is where I think, as I said, although Rui Costa got 2 out of 2 tackles, I think a better centre midfielder would be someone that has also better defensive stats. So like your Nainggolan, like your Vidals. Like if you take a Vidal, and again, most people would play a shadow chem style on Arturo Vidal because they just want that pace, right? So with a shadow, Vidal goes to an 89.2 CDM and an 84 centre mid. If you wanted him as a centre mid, which is where I'd use him, you can get him up to 91 with Artist, and I think that's going to be the highest. That is indeed the highest. So you can get him up to a 91 with Artist. So he still has really good standing and slide tackle, but then he has immaculate reactions, very good dribbling, great passing and vision, great stamina, and I think it actually does probably make him a more well-rounded player. So I'm interested in that sort of stuff. And then we obviously smashed this guy in terms of match stats. And again, considering the team and the chem styles I had, I absolutely battered this guy. Now, if we look at performance, Rooney a 90, which he is, and Herrera is considered an 87 rated. I don't know where that comes from. Rui Costa also a 90. Danilo Pereira considered an 86 rated. Tellez an 88. Rijkaard still a 90. De Ligt has got a rating higher. Valencia the same. And Zote the same as well. Kaka is considered a 94 instead of the 92 that he actually is. And I wonder if that's based on the chem style and the position that they're playing. I don't know. But guys, this is going to be the end of the video for now. If you did enjoy this, and if you think you'd enjoy this as a little mini-series throughout Team of the Season, trying to figure out the best players, best ratings in their positions, and playing games with them to try and find out whether or not they're good, drop a thumbs up, let me know in the comment section below. If you didn't like this video and you think you won't enjoy this series, just explain to me a little bit why, so I can get an understanding as to where you're coming from. This, though, guys, will be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.